What's up, Juventus? We're lakeside for this edition of the news, and today the news has us asking, is Juventus ready and willing to go all in for Koopmeiners and what it might take to bring them in? We're going to take a look at that, the latest on Todibo's situation and the latest around Adeyemi and Galeno, as we have complete contradictions in the media. And then we're going to get to the future of some of our players that are on the cusp of making the roster potentially for the 24-25 season. All right, I'm Berto, this is the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's July 28th. Let's rock with the news, all right? And of course, we kick things off with Koopmeiners, all right? We now have our side of the business completed. With Sule's medical set to go down with Roma in the next 48 hours, our piece of business is done. The second that money hits the bank, we are ready to act on Koopmeiners. Now, the latest is that Juventus already sent in his first initial offer of 45 million euros. Of course, this is expected to not be enough to get the deal done, all right? And that Atalanta is going to remain firm at 60 million euros. We are also hearing that Atalanta might even up or increase that price given some of the latest interest coming in for Koopmeiners. So it's kind of funny when you hear CEO Percassi of Atalanta state that they're not prepared to sell Koopmeiners at any cost, and then all of a sudden now we're going to up his price tag because of the interest that's happening and coming from England all of a sudden. So it is quite funny. Everybody's playing their game, but the question still stands firm. Is Juventus willing and ready to go all in for Koopmeiners if it is going to hit that firm price tag of 60 million euros? I've said this previously. I stand firm on it. Now that our business is done with Sule, if you were to not lock in Koopmeiners and bring them in at this point, I see that as a major fumble, okay, and a big time stumble. Do you agree or disagree? Hit me in the comments. But for me right now, we are pot committed to landing Koopmeiners, and we must bring them in. Do you agree? Let me know. Now we get to Todibo, and the latest are his agents is in Italy, all right, working with Juve to define the terms on the contract. It is expected Juve is going to put forth their offer of loan with an obligation to purchase the player. It's going to be an all-in cost of 37 million euros. It's going to kick off with a very expensive loan of 8 to 10 million euros, but many sources are already stating you can consider Todibo a Juventus player as it stands right now. Look for that one to get done. When it comes to the attack with Galeno and Adeyemi, we have completely contradicting news today, all right? So what we're hearing is that Galeno has overtaken Adeyemi as the main target in the attack for Juve. However, you still have several sources out there stating that not only is Juve pushing Adeyemi to find terms with the player, but the player's agent is pushing him towards Juve, all right? So who is the main target for Juve? Is it Galeno? Is it Adeyemi? And what the hell is going on with Chiesa still? A lot of questions remain to be answered, but as far as Adeyemi goes, the price tag apparently stands firm at 50 million euros with Borussia Dortmund. Who do you want Juve to sign, Galeno or Adeyemi? Or just keep Chiesa and find a loan for another forward? Let me know in the comments, all right? And then we get to some players who are on the cusp of potentially being a part of the 24-25 roster. We're starting to get some answers as preseason continues, and this is expected. Facundo Gonzalez will be heading out on loan. He has several Serie A teams interested in him and several La Liga teams interested in him. He will be heading out on loan, and a top-tier league loan for him would be fantastic in my opinion. Diogo Jalo, it is still completely up in the air what is going to happen with him. Apparently, Danilo, Gatti, and even newcomer Juan Cabal are all ahead of him on the pecking order. He could very well be heading out on a loan to get minutes in the top flight, all right? And then Luis Hassa, all right? Put in a decent, an okay shift, definitely the best out of the three forwards that started that first preseason game against Nuremberg. Between him, Sekulov, and Koopmeiners, Hassa was easily by far the best out of those three, but Juve rates him highly, continues to try to work on his contract scenario as they want to see him stay and remain with Juve as their property, all right? But Hassa has been fighting the contract. He might be looking for top flight minutes to stay. This is going to be an interesting decision that Juve might have to take. What do you think they should do with Chiesa, all right? What if he's unwilling to accept a loan to another side to renew? What if he's pushing for some type of first team involvement? Let me know what you think in the comments, all right? And now, as far as some more guys we're waiting to see at camp, well, Yildiz, Danilo, Bremer, all set to come back, and even Douglas Luiz tomorrow to Juve's camp, all right? Look forward to getting more of the regulars into the mix to see what we really have, as many still got a little too fired up for that first preseason game, all right? But that's your Juve news today. You know the drill, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army, all right? But let me know in the comments what you think about all the news you heard here today, and let's mix it up. I'm back tomorrow with another edition as always. Fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.